Welcome back to another episode of Your Girls Need to Chat. I'm Chelsea.
And I'm Daylan. We're just first name basis now, girlfriends. We are first name basis.
And we have an above average guest, our first guest. Joining us on the podcast today, it is Alora Folliaki, our queen.
Hello.
Our in-house photographer. She has taken any good photo that we have of ourselves doing this podcast, which is about 15 of them. So all credit to her. And she's a wedding photographer extraordinaire. I use her for events all the time. She's a dear friend. I almost said your star sign, which is a Leo.
It is.
She's a Leo.
She's Leo.
Okay.
You know
I don't
what?
really know what that means.
She also was a part-time producer for 1.5 episodes.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
her resume is long, it is luscious, it is loving, and we are so grateful to have you on today. I couldn't think of a better first guest.
Neither could I. She's the best.
Thanks, guys.
I was going to say, do you want to say words?
I'm nervous, but I'm so excited. Thanks for having
It's okay. We're a really intimidating presence. I'm crying out of both eyes right now because we couldn't get the episode started without. We had a little giggle fest before we started. Maybe those topics will come up throughout the episode, but as for right now, you're just getting the aftermath and the deep breathing from me.
Perfect.
I will say it has been a little bit of a minute since we recorded an episode. Thank you for your patience. Last week I was in Hawaii, which is why I am glowing slightly. Has anybody noticed that?
Yes.
No one's complimented me on my glow.
You're radiant.
Thank you. Thank you. I wouldn't say it was like not a relaxing vacation because I took all 3 of my children, including my almost 1-year-old, on a 7-hour flight and a red eye. So I'm like not glowing because of that. It's just like a really good tan and some bronzer, little illuminator.
It looked great. I mean, when I saw of it, and
I haven't posted anything yet.
No, Dylan did.
Just wait.
Didn't he?
Oh, Dylan did. He's so much better at that than me.
Not Dylan stealing your thunder.
You know what? It's because I'm telling you, it's part of my goals. I'm trying to be present. I'm trying to be where my feet are. Little confession, and then I promise we'll move on. My only hot take from Hawaii is I am not ashamed to say that I am now a Spam and eggs girly. Yes. I want to eat it every day. I don't know what that meat is made of. It's pure sodium. And I promise you, I've had dreams about eating that again.
Well, I think me and Alora can agree on the Spam Musubi side.
Oh, yes.
Alora, what is our first stop when we go to Hawaii?
We go to Foodland. And we get poke, shoyu, and then spicy tuna, I think. And then we get Spam Musubi wrapped up. Probably like 5 of them when we really should just get 10 because we inhaled them in the car.
Because then we'll be back there like the next day or that same afternoon. I get like before any event that I went to when I was there for the hurricane. Remember that?
The Kona storm. Yeah.
The Kona storm. That was my appetizer for any event. I was like, first we got to go to Foodland. I'm getting a Spam Musubi. I'm eating it in the car. Honestly, better than 90% of the food that I have there. It's just simple and good. And we need to, should we make Spam and eggs and Musubi a thing?
Yes. I don't know why no one is shouting this from the rooftops. Probably because Spam is like the equivalent of like what's in a hot dog to like what's in Spam. Yeah. But I also love hot dogs, and I'm not ashamed to say it. And also, I missed out because I didn't know that Foodland was a place. I am ashamed to say I got mine at 7-Eleven, and I loved them.
That's okay.
Those are great as well.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. 7-Eleven has good Spam Musubi and Spam and eggs. So
okay.
And next time you go to Foodland, you can use my phone number that they put in as a local. So you can get that discount because I was there so often.
It's incredible.
So I don't know how much it saves you, but like
I was there last week and I didn't get these insider scoops.
Well, I forgot. But what I didn't forget is your birthday.
You're right.
You're a year older and wiser and thriving and beautiful and radiant.
I'll say it out loud. I'm 34. And my husband said to me before I went to sleep that night, before my birthday, he said, when you wake up, you're going to be in your mid-30s.
Jail.
Who says that?
Dylan.
Jail.
Criminal. He's like, I'll take you to Hawaii and I'll document it.
Yeah. I did wake up with a little crick in my neck and I was like, all downhill from here. All downhill. But it was a great day. I'm gonna take the wine theory and I'm just gonna try and keep getting better. That's all I'm going to do.
My brain was so dense. And then it took the entire time you were talking to process that you meant aging like fine wine.
Yeah.
Right?
I also.
Yeah.
I thought we were referencing the wine that I had before.
I wouldn't put you on blast like that. I wouldn't do that to you.
She's like, wow, 4 minutes into this episode and they're already coming for me. That's crazy. No.
Okay. I mean, should we get to it? What are we talking about today?
We're talking about wedding season, something that this group actually has a lot of expertise on in roundabout ways. Have I been married? No. But I have been a bridesmaid 15 times.
You can have your 27 dresses, like,
you know, if I had a nickel
saga.
for every time someone said that to me when I said that I've been a bridesmaid 15 times, I would be able to fund my wedding eventually. So,
and it would be a lavish one.
Keep talking. It's going to be great. Daylan, how many weddings have you partaken in?
Well, just the one where I am married. But
Just
if it was more
confirming.
than that, it would be awkward. It would be weird. Just because you didn't know about the other one. No, just the one. But I think I probably have been a bridesmaid. Not 15, maybe cut that in half, maybe 7, which I feel like is a lot.
That feels respectable.
Yeah, like
Mine's
I know
excessive.
about weddings. I love weddings. But really, I'm excited to hear about Alora.
She's bringing the most fundamentally sound professional experience as our wedding photographer. She does go to a lot of weddings as a guest, as a photographer. And I am sure there are plenty of opinions, some that I have already heard and some that we will expose in a tasteful way as we go. So a lot of this is we're talking some wedding hot takes, wedding season energy. If I'm feeling the lag as a bridesmaid 15 times, how do I keep the enthusiasm for weddings that will keep going? Trends that we hate, trends that we love. You know, we've got a little bit of everything, plus some listener submissions that I'm really excited about. And I'm sure some additional stories along the way from our myriad of wedding expertise.
Alora, we didn't even get your bio. Give us everything about why you started to be a photographer, like what called you. Tell us everything. Chelsea, you're not
really
hosting.
jumped into the deep end. I'm so sorry. We jumped into the deep end. I
No,
just
you're
really wanted to
good.
get to it, but now this is the floor is yours, Alora.
Yes, let's see. So I grew up around a photographer. My mom was a portrait photographer. I was suckered into helping her. I wanted to play in the dirt and roll around and be a child, which I did. But she had me come and like hold a reflector that was bigger than me. So that's how I got introduced to photography. But then I took classes in high school and I loved it. And I started shooting film and I loved that. And then when I came out here to Utah, I started shooting more weddings, which I didn't think that I would love because I was a very, very shy girl. I couldn't even order my own food, probably my freshman year of college. So if that gives you anything to go off of, I was terrified of people. So didn't think I was going to love weddings, got into it. I had a teammate ask me to shoot a wedding for her. And I'm like, why not? This will be so fun. And then I fell in love with it. And I've been shooting weddings for the past like 10-ish years and it's incredible. And it's brought me to so many cool places, traveling wise. And I met some of my really good friends through it. And yeah.
Where's the coolest place you've traveled?
Probably the Bahamas. I was helping a friend shoot a wedding a couple of years ago, and it was insane in the best way.
Please.
Yeah.
Alora gets to be, she's being very humble, but she's privy to a lot of these, as we call them, more monies or big budget weddings. And so her Instagram page, the photos that come from this, and like she does such a good job of curating and documenting the experience. It's very artistic. Which I appreciate. It's not like, I wouldn't say, here's like a recap and we're slapping some photos together. Like it's very intentional in how she curates all the images, even on her own social media for it. And then I'm like, I haven't been to any of these weddings, but I feel like I have been. And they're very memorable. And I feel like they show a lot of emotion and a lot of art through it. So anyway, I could hype it up all day long because I did such a bad job and didn't tee you up to do your bio to begin with. But she's an incredible photographer and artist. And I also had no idea that your mom was a portrait photographer. So we're all being educated.
Learning things today. I think that's why we need Alora in our lives, is because Chelsea and I, we do have very like strong opinions. We feel like because we've seen it on Instagram, we know about it. And because we've watched a couple TikToks, we're experts. So we're going to armchair expert a little bit today, but Alora is going to be our guiding light. She's going to take us through. I want to jump into the trends that we're seeing. I'm going to give you a couple that I am loving, and I would love to hear your take on them, Alora. First, we got some family pictures done in Hawaii, and a couple of the photographers I messaged only do film photography. Explain this to me. Like, I get it because I think it's, it's kind of what's trending right now, but why do I want film photography when I could have digital? like they only do film.
Yeah. So I actually do film and digital. I am hybrid. I love film and I incorporate it into my workflow. I think if I can kind of backtrack it, for me, made me a lot more intentional as an artist because you only get like 16 frames or 35 frames a roll that you're shooting. And so you have to be intentional with like, what story am I telling? And how can I like get that across in just this one roll or two rolls? And so I think it can make you a better artist. And so that's one of the reasons. And then also the colors and the skin tones on film, if you shoot it right, are just incredible. And there's not a ton of presets or I guess alterations you can do in digital that can mimic that. I think it's also like a taste preference and a style preference for some people.
It's also that nostalgic note, right? Like, I don't know what it is. Like, is it because we don't hold pictures these days that when you're like holding a picture, it's taken in that way? Like, they have a different feel to them.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I think too, and this is the film photography nerd coming out on me, but like when you have your film strips, like the negatives, like that is the literal light from that day whenever you're shooting, literally on the negative. And it's crazy. Beautiful. It's so cool. So I don't know did you end up getting film photos taken when you were
No, because there was too many of us that needed copies. We did a big family picture. So I'm like, there's too many of us that needed pictures that I was like, I'm not gonna be fighting over this film photos.
Because you can technically digitize it after the fact, right?
Okay. You can, yeah. So usually nowadays they put it through a scanner, and that's how you would receive the film photos in addition to the negatives a lot of the time.
Okay.
So you get like a digitized copy of it.
Okay.
But
see, I didn't even know that. I probably would have been more open to it. But she was just like, I only do film. And I was like, I respect that. Probably not for me. But now that I know that, I might have done that. Anyway, we ended up doing that one. The other one that I wanted to ask you about is that harsh flash photography. I love the look of it. I've been seeing it a lot at weddings, which again, I love, but I'm nervous. Is that one of those things that's like, oh, you got married in 2025 because they're pinpointing like this was when the flash photography was like really big? Is that something? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I've been seeing that as well a lot in the past year or two. I like it. I think it can be used like artistically, like throughout the day. Because I know a lot of the times for receptions, it's a little bit darker. And so you need to bring in a flash just for lighting. But I really like it if it's sprinkled out artistically throughout a gallery. But
yeah, so not like the whole thing. Because I've seen some weddings just shot consistently in that full flash.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think if the client likes it, hell yeah. Why not?
Let's do
it.
It
probably like that our cute Gen Z brides might be more inclined to be like, here, I want the Canon G7, whatever feel. And all of them are flash photography. And you're like, okay, this is a choice. And 20 years later, hopefully it's still a good choice.
I got married 11 years ago. And ours was that really moody tone of like time of photography when we got like, it's kind of the more like sepia tones and blues and like more like rainy day look. So like my engagements, some of them were like black and white or sepia tone, or like it was very moody versus like the light and bright that I feel like the more natural way we're like leaning towards. But I can tell like, oh yeah, I got married during this year because that's what my photos looked like.
Yeah.
So that's why I was saying it.
I can't wait to see it. I need to see some of those photos.
I'll have to send those over your way. You're going to judge me. We do love to post those.
We love nostalgia around here.
We do.
Daylan, are there any trends from when you got married that you thought were going to last forever and be so timeless that maybe have not aged the way you thought they would?
Yes, all of them. My hair was a full updo. I had a full prom, just gathered up. I remember I showed my stylist, Hair by Steph. She's amazing. She's still amazing. I showed her this picture of Julianne Hough with like all this hair piled up back from what was when she did the Footloose premiere. It was incredible. I loved her hair. And then I also had this like 1920s like Great Gatsby gold trimmed dress that was not a wedding dress. I don't know what I was doing. But I wanted to
Wait,
be
but
different.
you wore it as a wedding dress?
I wore it as a wedding dress. Yeah.
Have I seen these photos?
I don't know, but it was like, I think it's actually maybe was a wedding dress because I think it was beholden. I can't remember, but it definitely didn't look like a traditional wedding dress. But then I had, the pastel pink bridal gown or bridesmaids dresses and the peony flowers that every bride had.
Yes.
It was very like LDS 2015 wedding.
I can see it clearly. And you know what? I love it. It's a vibe. It's great. I'm sure it'll come back in style like 5 years from now.
Probably less with the way that things are trending.
Truly. Something that's been, have you overlapped at a wedding with anybody that's hired a content creator?
I have never heard of this. Alora.
Yes, I have. I feel like most of my weddings now have content creators. It started about maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And I loved it with the content creators that I've worked with. But I know there's a lot of opinions.
Wait, tell me, I don't even know what this means. Like you're hiring someone to curate content? Is that not like a videographer?
So you have professional video that comes in with like their big cameras, and then you have someone come in with an iPhone, and they're kind of just documenting little moments of the day for you. And they usually will put together like TikToks and just curate videos for you of your day so that you can be off your phone and your guests can be off your phone and you can have still like iPhone content. That's more long form than it is like short form.
And are people being paid to do this?
They are.
It's quite lucrative. We need to get you on TikTok. You could thrive. Yeah. But essentially, it's like Alora said, it's the raw moments that don't need like the immediate polishing. So if you view a videographer as like the cinema or the movie recreation of your day, this is like the fun, quirky, small, little, it's like the disposable camera equivalent. Like here, let's come in and snap all this content. And so, I mean, if you see someone that has really curated like social media from their wedding day, they probably hired a content creator or they have a bridesmaid that like went above and beyond the call of duty.
Okay. That's actually really cool. I've never heard of that. Or maybe it's like happened. I haven't even just known it's there.
I don't know that it's super popular in Utah.
I think it's been more popular in California for me, like in the industry, and then on the like East Coast.
Okay.
But I think
so it's going to make its way to us within the year.
I think so. Give another year or two.
Yeah.
Make its way to us, and also if the budgets increase. Because that's like another line item that if you're paying someone, would you pay a content creator or a videographer? I personally would pay a videographer and I'd bribe a bridesmaid. Like I think that's kind of what it comes down to is Utah's going to be a little more fiscally conservative with how we approach weddings than other places. And it too, I think it depends. Well, actually, that's ironic because we have so many actual content creators here.
Or just like a 18-year-old niece, like just or cousin. Like they know way more about that iPhone than I do.
True.
How do you feel about choreographed dances? Because I'm seeing them on TikTok, I'm seeing them on Instagram. The newest one is like, "Where the hell is my husband?" Like, and then they're just like have that like white like screen with their shadow, and it's this big thing. And I'm like, okay, when have we taken it too far?
What I will say is if they love it, I love it for them. Am I a hater because I can't do it well? Probably.
I should have put a disclaimer for all of my opinions in this episode. That's basically exactly what Alora said. At the end of the day, it is whatever the bride wants and whatever she has dreamed up. And that can get into an entirely different topic on Bridezillas and all these different things. But you know what? Just because somebody else loves it and I don't, that is so good for them. And that is so great. And I probably swing more toward liking moments that organically happen than like something that's really, because I feel like it adds another stressor. Like I'd be stressed about 20 more things happening if I was trying to pull off a choreographed dance that wasn't like, well, in general, I'm not a dancer. So that would, the stress level would be off the wall. Anyway, so I think I swing toward organic, like setting the stage for organic moments to happen more so than like pre-planned polish. But
yeah, I think I just don't want my wedding to feel like a play, you know?
A production.
Yeah. Like next up is the entrance, and everybody be quiet and look to your right. Like I will say, my brother-in-law did a surprise choreographed dance for my sister-in-law. So when my sister-in-law was getting married to her husband, he did a surprised choreographed dance, and he was like ripping his shirt open a little bit, and like it was hilarious. And like that, like I thought that was so funny because it had nothing to do with her, like as far as like her mental capacity that day. It was just like this fun surprise that only a few people knew about.
Very pro that.
Yeah, it was cute. It was really, really cute. Okay, I think we should move on to the next segment. I would love to know, Alora, what have been like your favorite moments in like wedding photography? Anything that you can like recall back to like, oh, this wedding because of this, or like what really is photographing well in weddings, and what would you suggest to people in this wedding season if they're looking to do like more aesthetically pleasing things for like a photographer's view?
Yeah. I think first is allowing yourself and for the day and for your weekend just to like let things happen as they are. Like things, the timeline will get thrown off. That happens at every single wedding. Um, and not worrying about not how you look in photos, but just letting yourself be and exist in the moment. And those are the moments that photograph well. I'm trying to think of a special moment I had. Oh, I had one a couple years ago. And this couple wanted their wedding to feel a little bit more intimate and true to who they were. So they decided to get ready together in the morning. And it was so tender and so wonderful. And they like helped each other like put on like she helped him put on his tux and he helped her like button up her dress, and it was a really special moment, that was, I guess you would say, untraditional, but leaning into, I think, what feels true to you as a couple, um, and that always, like, photographs well,
Anything that you can say for a bride to like, this was like having your guest colors, or maybe like what lighting mistakes, or anything that people
Mm.
can like, what actually like makes photography really beautiful at a wedding.
I do love a coordinated guest color palette. I think that, like, photographs well, like, on my end of things. Something that I think brides don't think about as much is the venue that you book really helps craft and create the atmosphere for how the photos will become. So, like, if you want super lush green, whimsical, but maybe not book a venue that is in a mansion, like opt for something like a garden or like a greenhouse, because that can really help you cut down on costs of like if you wanted like all the green, the florals.
I actually did have my I had my reception in a greenhouse. I did it at Cactus and
Cute.
Tropicals.
I love
Oh,
cactus
I love
tropicals. It's
cactus and
so
tropicals.
beautiful.
Stunning, because I really wanted a summer wedding and I got married at the beginning of March. And, you know, in Utah, we can't wait any longer. So we got married in March, and I
Yeah.
wanted like a June wedding. And so I
Mhm.
did it at Cactus and Tropicals. And seriously, chef's kiss. Loved it. Shout out Cactus and Tropicals.
One thought, I mean, I don't plan weddings. I have been asked to plan a couple and I've respectfully turned them down because I don't like the emotional bandwidth that's required of that. But I think when you're planning an event or you're looking at bringing a vision to life, you have to allow a certain amount of flexibility and trust professionals that can do something better than you. So if you're trying to go for a Pinterest wedding and a very specific look and style, and like, let's say, so I have a florist that is my ride or die for any big gala and events. Her name's Marianne. She's the best. And I can take the loosest semblance of a plan or some loose inspiration pictures, and she is so talented that she can figure it out and come to life. And I think too, allowing some kind of flexibility, you're never going to get the exact replication of whatever it is, and there's so many factors that come into that. For example, florals. If you take a photo to a florist and you say, I want this exact flower arrangement, well, what time of year is it? What season? Are those flowers like blooming at the right time? Are they quality? Like, you have to carve out a certain amount of flexibility for someone to come in and be a professional and say, oh, this and this and this like might actually contribute to make that look better than how it would have been originally, or if you were rigid with your plan. So that's my 2 cents on that as a non-photographer, but someone in the event space.
I love that. I feel really good about that. I think that's an easy thing to say and not an easy thing to do. But good luck, brides.
So, some fun lore/drama from weddings over the years. This is really not just a targeted attack at Alora and her sharing any stories, but for the whole group. What are some of the crazy things that we have seen? For me, one of the categories that comes to mind: speeches, songs that people choose to walk down an aisle to in not traditional LDS weddings, um, any strange requests, bridal party dynamics. You know, that's what we're setting the stage with. I'll start. Something crazy that it's weird that it happened once. It is absolutely wild that it's happened twice, but I have witnessed multiple people walk down the aisle to Fishin' in the Dark. And you know what?
No.
Yeah, that did happen. And here's what I love. One, this is the compliment sandwich. One, they are so authentically themselves. I respect it. Two, not a wedding song. Three, it's their choice and it's not my wedding, and I love that for them. But it is wild that I've witnessed it twice within a matter of like 3 years.
Fishin' in the Dark is crazy.
That's crazy
It
work.
is. That's without even digging into the deeper meaning of Fishin' in the Dark. So we're just gonna leave that there.
You and me go fishing in the dark. Lying on our backs and counting the stars.
I mean,
Lying
that's
on your
wholesome.
backs under the stars never leads to anything good. Especially if it's after midnight and the Holy Ghost went to bed.
Were they walking on beat?
No.
Were they
beat them?
walking on beat?
No.
Was it an
Wait,
instrumental
wait.
version?
One of them was walking on beat, and then it turned into a sing-along. I forgot. I blacked out.
No.
And you know what? Again, like, props to them for really leaning into something that they love.
That's
I
fun.
was so shocked.
It's just like a weird thing to like love, Fishing in the Dark.
Was there some sort of significance to the song? Like, was that their?
You know, I didn't find out.
Mm.
I think I was still trying to kind of get a grip personally, especially
Were
the
they
second.
from? Were they
all
from
Utah.
Louisiana?
Nope, Utah. Strong Utah ties.
They must
all
have
of
lived in Morgan, where they fish a lot.
Okay,
Very,
who
very
drank their
strong river
haterade
up
this
there.
morning? What? No, they were
Strong
not from
river up
Morgan.
there.
They were from a different small town. Yeah, no, I don't have any context for why that song may or may not have been emotionally significant. It's different. It's quirky, I guess. But that was crazy. And when I heard it the second time, I was like, this is unprecedented. I almost fell out of my chair the first one. The second one, I was rendered speechless. So that's my shock and awe. Actually, we'll call it a surprise and delight. Because frankly, I have gotten a lot of mileage out of that reference. And
I think it's fun.
I mean, they're memorable. And I love that. I'm trying to think of an equivalent song that I would randomly walk down the aisle to.
Other than Fishing in the Dark?
Courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue. Cue up some Toby Keith in the 4th of July wedding.
Okay.
Feels like depending on where that chorus goes, it could time out at the wrong time or the right time.
I feel like you'd be needing to get married in Tahoe on a boat to that song.
Yeah.
Cute. Look at Alora just classing up your wedding just in 2 sentences.
Well, it depends on
Chelsea's
the type
like,
of boat.
we could do it in a backyard. And Alora's like, no. We're going to get a yacht. We're going to go to Tahoe. We're going to add some string lights. And we're going to do the instrumental version of Toby Keith. And then, boom, it's in vogue.
And then there'll be
Meanwhile,
fireworks
I'm thinking of like
at the end.
people. Yeah, the fireworks would tie it all together. I'm thinking, see, now Uno reverse, flip it on its head. This is actually the welcome dinner. Now the welcome dinner is going to be courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue themed on a 4th of July weekend wedding. And the welcome dinner, everybody has to come wearing the American flag.
Just the whole American flag.
It's actually, this would be the trashiest part of my wedding. I think Uncle Rico. Wait, is it Uncle Rico in Napoleon Dynamite that can throw the football over the mountains?
Yeah.
Yeah. Him? No. The other guy in Napoleon Dynamite, the karate instructor. Do you know? The parachute pants,
Yeah, but why I don't know him. Like, I don't know his name.
Never mind. Well, I don't know his name either, but just the vibe and the full American I digress. Catch me workshopping this theme, and don't be surprised if I have a courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue tribute memoriam.
Americana weddings are so cute. I just don't think we should walk down the aisle to Toby Keith.
I agree.
Okay. Do you have any other ones that you can tell us about? Any other crazy things? Like anything family drama? I have a family drama one that I know of.
Yes, please go.
Okay. One of my very distant friends who I don't know well at all, she had a member of her family, her soon-to-be sister-in-law, literally brought a boyfriend she had known for 1 month, maybe 1 month, had been on 2 or 3 dates to her wedding, and proceeded to ask if he could be in the family photos of their wedding. Mind you, neither the bride or the groom had met this boy, and brought him to the wedding and proceeded to have him in the family photos. She said no, so they got a couple without, but he was definitely in some of the family photos.
That's wild.
When in doubt, If you're not engaged or betrothed, married, whatever you call it, I'm gonna politely kick you to the curb for family
Right?
photos.
As the photographer, what do you do, Alora?
I usually do the same thing. I do one with the plus ones, and then what I just said. I'm like, okay, taking you out. I'm fine to be the bad guy, but
That's what you're paid for. You got to be the
yeah,
unauthorized bad guy.
Was it a
yeah.
Utah wedding?
Yeah.
I think Utah has a hard time understanding plus one courtesy and culture and etiquette in so many ways. Like if it's not a formal wedding and people are just kind of, I think it's treated very lightly. Laura and I were both in a vow renewal destination wedding. And the rule was if you don't have a ring on your finger, there's no plus one, no ifs, ands, or buts. There's no like almost or maybe or intention or anything like that. Like, and I didn't have a ring on my finger. So, oops, I was solo. And frankly, it was way more enjoyable that way. But
I
it
was
takes
going
a
to
lot
say,
of the
no
pressure
pressure at
off. And
all.
like, I know a lot of the pressure is gone. There's no, and it also makes it that way for everybody. So there's going to be other people that don't have plus ones, and then you get to kind of bond together. Like my friend's husband couldn't go, and so she was my roommate. It was great. So
Cute.
maybe not a great example, but we had a good time.
Actually was the best case scenario. So
Actually was a win for everybody. Crazy.
Alora,
I'm
what is
trying to
the
think of
craziest thing you've seen at a wedding?
That I've seen. I think for the guests, just groomsmen, mostly groomsmen, just so drunk, giving speeches that are way too long, where they've had to cut the mic,
Yeah,
because it got out of hand. But that's the
Are we
craziest guest
pro
experience.
speeches?
do you feel like I love a tender speech from like a parent or like a really good friend. I think it gets crazy when we just like pass the mic along. Like what we don't need to pass the mic throughout the room.
Yeah, I
Amen.
think I like speeches. I think keeping it to like maybe 4, maybe 6 on the wedding day. And if you have more people that you are going to want to say something, do that at the rehearsal dinner or the welcome party. And then you can pass the mic around so that people can still feel like they're included and talk. But I do love a toast, especially at dinner. Yeah.
I feel I would agree. I'm like the weddings when I've been to a welcome dinner, it's fun because then everybody goes around and like they get the mic and they say how they know the bride or the groom. And then that's like really easy, short, succinct. They can crack their one-liner joke and like that's probably going to be the best joke that they would have had anyway if they were giving a speech and then continue on. And then I've been to weddings where it's like every sibling is speaking, the parents are speaking, there's a lot of people involved in the chat and like sometimes it goes well. Sometimes to quote my mom, you wish they had an emergency escape hatch. She also says this for testimony meetings sometimes that we've always speculated and wondered if the bishop has a little button that it's like you got to dump out of this thing. Like, can you cut the mic? We don't know. Sometimes that happens, and I think that happens when it's not there aren't parameters and it's long-winded. So if you can give like a stricter parameter or hey, just like share your favorite memory and like it's not actually a speech and a tribute because then sometimes you
Yeah.
have like if you open it up to groomsmen, bridesmaids, I've been to
Yeah.
plenty of weddings where it turns into like, oh my gosh, I know the bride better because of this. She's my bestest friend. Like goes off on
Right.
this whole thing. And it turns into more of like a competition and a very specific highlight reel than celebratory and like leaning in with the couple. That's all. Alora, have there been any weird things that have happened to you as a person, as a photographer? Not necessarily. Okay.
Yes.
It felt
Yes.
like a loaded question because it was one, and you can volunteer whatever you want to volunteer with that tee up.
Oh, let's see. What do I choose? I I had a wedding in California a couple years ago. Great wedding weekend. Couple was awesome. Family was great. The end of the night comes around, and the mother of the bride comes up to me, and she's just like, "You are so wonderful. Thank you for being here. Like, I appreciate you so much." And I'm like, "Thank you, thank you, thank you. Don't stop." And then she was like, "I was talking to my husband, and he just was telling me that he thinks you're the most beautiful woman that he's seen." And I'm like, "Hello?"
Her husband?
Her husband,
Current?
current. And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, thanks." She's like, "But not in like a weird way. I'm not threatened by you. But I just wanted to let you know." And I'm like, "Thank you." And I think what I've translated that as is swinging. Were they asking me to swing? I don't know. It was crazy.
They were propositioning you.
A soft swing sniff out, some might
crazy.
say.
Like I was the age of their daughter.
Was the husband hot?
Daylan's like, were we considering it?
No. Maybe in his glory
We were?
days. But
I don't know.
so that was crazy. And
I'm sweating even more now.
Hey, well, my follow-up question was going to be, how would you feel as a bride if you found out that any of that? I'm sure it's fine. Maybe she already knows.
fine. I don't know.
Oh,
I thought that was
Did you tell her?
no.
How do you start
I
that
did not.
conversation?
Probably the right choice.
Hey, FYI, I think your parents might have gently propositioned me.
In the follow-up email, when you send her gallery, you say, I hope that your parents found someone to have fun with that night. Also, going to take that compliment to my grave. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Here's your
Amen.
gallery. Also, I would like a fat tip for having to put up with your parents' proposition.
For my emotional distress.
being.
Yeah.
Anything else? Have you ever been sick at a wedding? Have you ever I feel like you can't cancel even if you're sick as a photographer. Like you just can't. What do you
I've
do?
never been sick enough. There were times I didn't know I had strep. So like I couldn't really talk well, but I still had to show up. I did hire someone else to come with me on top of who I had on my team already to help like yell things because I was not able to talk very loud. But yeah, luckily, knock on wood, somewhere, I haven't gotten ill enough to where I couldn't be present. But
My worst fear
Yeah.
would be having explosive diarrhea and I was a photographer and just be like, you're in the middle of a ceremony, you're in beautiful vows and your stomach starts to gurgle and you're like, sweet heaven above, please do not let me poop my pants at this wedding. What would you do? What would you do?
I don't know, but I
Imodium
do
on-
carry Imodium or I just keep emergency diapers.
You'd
in my
have to wear a
car.
Depends. You'd have to wear a Depends. And you'd have to stick dryer sheets in your pants so that it smelled good.
Yeah.
That's
I didn't even know
that's
that
a trick,
would have been
Chelsea.
an option. Wow.
You put
Have
dryer
you-
sheets in your pants if you have to if you have gas and then it makes your tooth smell good. That's a thing. You guys never did that?
I've never heard of
Wait,
that, but that
wait,
is incredible.
This is
Your husband's like, why are there so many dryer sheets in your bathtub,
really-
Stephen?
Daylan, this is a real thing you've done? It's a safe space, I swear. Wait.
I have been known, actually not known. This is me outing myself. I'm crying real tears. Yes, I think I read it in my 17 magazine when I was a tweenie bopper. And you take dryer sheets and then you stick them in between your undies and your pants right down in there. And then if you have some toots or if you're nervous, maybe your belly gets hurt when you're going on a first date or something. You need extra security. You just put some dryer sheets down there and then everything smells Downy Fresh.
So it's premeditated. I didn't realize.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wait.
Absolutely.
So
You
does
just
that
know
just
your
give you
body.
does that just give
Yeah.
you permission to let him rip?
You
Then,
go
like,
downstairs.
You just feel like you have the safety net of a dryer sheet to just let him go, let him fly.
It's not like I'm just very confident now. I just know that if something does happen, I have a little extra security blanket. I got a little extra protection,
I need to see this article. I'm 17 magazine
I need to send
I'm
this to my
telling you.
sister.
sheet tip. Saver from a parking lot incident. Oh. Well, this just says get rid of static with dryer sheets. So I need to do some more deep diving. I was not
This was in
expecting that.
2008. This was so long ago. This is when 17 magazine was delivered to your home monthly and Hillary Duff was on the cover.
I'm practicing deep breathing because I cannot believe that I'm living in a present reality. This is the best moment
It's
of
so
of the podcast.
We'll see. We'll see how I feel like I've been the most vulnerable in this whole episode. Okay, Alora, step it up.
I haven't been married, so I don't have anything to confess.
I wasn't married when I put dryer sheets in my pants.
That's true. What? My first PG-13 movie that I ever watched was Wedding Planner, featuring J-Lo and Matthew McConaughey. Icons. I do think it's my curse because I probably romanticized her life a little too much, and I romanticized the part before she had the man, so tough. I also love My Best Friend's Wedding. That is one of my other favorite movies. And what's crazy is one time I watched that with a man and he said, "Do you feel like this is kind of like your life?" And I
In
was
what
rendered
way?
speechless that I never have the man and I'm apparently chasing something I can't have. And also at the time identified as a food reporter. That's slightly louder than normal people.
I hope you showed him to the door.
Yeah, I don't talk to him anymore, so we're good. We're marked safe. That was
Have you ever been a wedding date, either of you?
Never.
no.
That's surprising. I feel like you two would make really strong wedding dates.
We can just be dates for each other moving forward.
Yeah, we have been that. We have been each other's plus ones to a lot of events. The number of times
I think that sounds
I
great.
have texted Alora and said, "Hey, I need you to come to this with me, like maybe possibly if you're free." And she has no concept of where we're going. And then I'm giving her like the quick download. What was the party with the entire jazz starting lineup? That was a fun one. I was like, "Oh, by the way, we're actually going to this thing hosted by the Utah Jazz. Okay, good luck." And I gave her like a 3-minute notice.
It was
And
great.
neither of you came out with NBA dates after that?
I mean, they're all 21, so tough.
I don't care.
But
It's podcast content. Take one for the team.
We will, now that she's been a guest and she'll identify as a group chatter more firmly, we will do everything in our power to do some things for the plot for the podcast. Feels a little scary, but when in Rome, I guess.
You know what also feels scary? Some of our group chat chimed in with their wedding disasters, and these had me laughing out loud. First one that I saw immediately and just died was her reply was simply, "Marrying my ex-husband." That was her wedding disaster.
Do we have context? Like she's referring to it in past tense, right? She didn't remarry her ex-husband?
No. No,
Okay.
she didn't remarry her ex-husband. I think she means like marrying my husband, who is now my ex
Period.
in the first place.
Yes.
Point
Okay.
blank, period.
Mm.
Which,
Okay.
I mean, honestly, that qualifies as a disaster.
Indeed.
This one's good. Bloody nose walking down the aisle.
That one was,
No.
well, no. I have some context for this one. It wasn't down the aisle. It was in the temple at the altar.
Oh no, everything is so white in there.
I was at this wedding. I was not in the, I'm not outing who it was, but I was there.
Okay.
And I was not in the ceiling. I had not been endowed yet. And she comes out of the temple. First, I give her a hug. First thing she says is, "I got a bloody nose at the altar." My worst nightmare. She's a strong soldier. Luckily, I think they were able to save it pretty quick and there were tissues already at the ready.
Was it just dry up there?
Well, she is kind of bloody nose prone. Oh, I'll follow up with her and see if that's still a present issue.
Did it get on her dress?
Not that I can recall. I'll have to.
I mean, just
I'll
say
have to
yes
fact
for the
check.
good of the podcast.
Yeah,
Oh
it was
my
all
gosh.
over. It looked apocalyptic. No, just kidding.
I have a horror story now. They're talking about things getting spilled.
Oh,
on dresses.
Yes, Alora.
Yes.
How could I forget this? Oh my gosh. So
You suppressed it.
picture this. We're in Mexico. It's my older sister's wedding. Everyone's sitting down. We're up higher in like a little casita where she's so excited to walk down the aisle. She's very nervous. So someone gives her like a passion fruit, some sort of margarita. She's nervous. Oops. All over her dress. We're 5 minutes to go time. There are seeds, papaya seeds, yellow, just like all over her dress. And I saw the light leave her eyes. I'm like, oh my God. I was the maid of honor. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, okay, someone get soda water, someone get a wet rag, someone get a blow dryer. We got it out somehow.
What? How long did it take?
The whole 4 minutes and 45 seconds before we sent her down.
We
had to
delayed the wedding, right?
No, we still had to go. We still went. We got it out. We got the seeds out. Luckily, the seeds didn't stain, but soda water.
The fact that you thought soda water was the most wedding planner moment of your life.
It did.
I'm surprised you didn't have
moment.
a little fanny pack with a little Evian spray in it. Like
I should have. It was crazy though.
That was
This is a
before ChatGPT.
Do you have an emergency kit? Like a
Yes,
photographer / here's my personal emergency kit and also here's things that I have on hand in case the wedding planner didn't do her job.
Yes. And I have it with me and I have it on my assistant.
What's in it?
Are there Depends in there?
Are there dryer sheets?
There are not dryer sheets yet. There are diapers. There are Depends. There's, let's see, I have it. Sponsor us, Miss Mouth. If there's no soda water present. I have lip gloss. I have like a little sewing kit, Tylenol, Advil, like a little mirror. I usually take their like makeup kit with me. I don't have it on me, but anything you could think of.
Incredible.
Salt, Tabasco.
Naturally.
That's more for myself. for
Except
later.
for food's bland.
She does love an excessive amount of salt. I know as someone who doesn't salt her food after it comes to her, I just enjoy it as is. But
This
I
girl
digress.
this girl loves her sodium.
Yes, we love
The
that.
Tabasco
Okay,
is a real hit.
that was my side tangent. Back to the listener submission stories.
Throwing up everywhere. I messaged her to see if I could get more details. She didn't write back yet. I imagine if I were her and I was thinking of a worst case scenario, I imagine this to be all over my dress in front of everybody, like nerves, like did you get a little food poisoning? Did you like what happened? What happened?
I wasn't at this wedding, but I know I've heard the story and I can't remember. I can't even volunteer more detail. Were you at this wedding? I did have one of my friends, she got the stomach flu and threw up the whole night. So she like kind of kept it together through most of the reception and then she like the next 24 hours was out for the count. Tough.
Oh, that makes me so sad.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
I do have one more wedding disaster. It's actually from my own wedding. We had gotten married and we went to a hotel. I think we went to the Marriott at City Creek, and we were about to get on the elevator and it like stopped down. And if you know me, I have like this weird fear of elevators. I don't like them. I will ride them, but this one like stopped down and like didn't work for a second. And I looked at him and I said, "I'm not getting on that." And he was like, "It's fine now. They fixed it." And I said, "I'm not getting on that." I pulled my dress up. I still wear my wedding dress, and he had a whole duffel bag. We walked 16 flights of stairs to get to our room. 16 on our wedding night.
With all your stuff.
With all of our stuff. He carried it all, of course. I just had to hold my dress up. But it was the elevator was acting weird, and I was not going to get in it.
You stood
So
on
he-
business.
So he knew what he was getting into.
And he willingly. Wow.
Yeah. If he wanted the cookie, he had to climb the stairs.
You made him really work for it.
Made him work
Last minute,
moves
last
only.
ditch. Oh my gosh. There were 2 more that were flower related that were submitted. And this would be horrific. One of them says my flowers came completely the wrong color, neon orange instead of pale peach.
Neon
Tough.
orange is bad. Lose
That
my
is
number.
That is a rough time. And then someone else said my bridal bouquet looked dead. I asked for rose gold flowers in 2016 and it wasn't it.
Rose gold was such a moment in 2016. Like, that's another thing where you're looking at and you're like, rose gold, like, if you can pinpoint it, it's like, okay, yeah, you got married between 2014 and 2017.
And anybody whose wedding ring is rose gold as well.
Yes.
It really had a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
We've been on a journey today.
It has been a journey. We have zigzagged. We have serpentined. Should we do some quick hot takes before we wrap?
Let's do some quick
Yes.
hot takes. Let's do it.
Okay. I mean, we could call it smash or pass, or we can just call it a hot take, whatever. And this is me
I like
reminding
smash
you.
or pass.
I like smash or pass too. And this is me teeing up that I have to talk about off campus next episode because I've been quiet the whole time. Do you know what that is?
No.
Oh, we'll sidebar.
Daylan.
Yes.
Okay. Destination weddings. Smash.
Smash.
Smash. I would, if I could do it over again, smash.
Plus ones. Smash if there's a ring.
Yes. I do want
Smash.
you to enjoy it, but I don't want you to bring your boyfriend of 2 weeks.
Yeah. Venmo on
Or your
invites.
cousin. I pass.
Hard pass.
Thank
Sorry.
you.
Not on the invite.
Somewhere my friend
Can we-
Cassie is rejoicing because this is her hottest take is there should be no Venmo present. They can just intuitively find the Venmo if they want to, allegedly. Wedding hashtags.
I just don't, I mean, pass. I just don't think they're that effective.
I think so too. I think it's a pass.
I think it's pass.
Yeah.
I had one written on a chalkboard at my wedding.
Massive bridal parties.
Pass.
No bridal parties. Oh, Alora, do you have a...
I'd actually say smash for a big bridal party.
Okay.
But are you going to talk to these people in 10 years? All of them?
If you have a big girl gang,
Okay.
smash.
Okay. But if it's just like your roommate
If you have
from
that
college.
many friends, no.
Okay.
If they
Okay.
are someone you talk to regularly, then smash.
I think it's tough. Like if I were to do a traditional LDS wedding situation, I'd probably be pro big bridal party. I don't really want to do that. And I'm anticipating not that it's like come one, come all that have an invite. And it's like, here's the color palette, dress in the color palette. I get photos with whoever wants to be there. And it's like, I just think there's so much pressure put on it. And like, get a dress that you actually like. I don't care. There's no strict standard to anything because it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of it. I think that's my take.
I love a wedding guest like color scheme. Love it.
I love a lookbook. Tell me what to wear.
Yes.
Within reason.
Why? I mean, my aunt and uncle would never do it. And like my grandma would make me pick out her dress. But like, say less.
The best wedding that I've been to was the vow renewals that me and Alora both went to. And they sent out the color palette lookbook, and it was in Mexico. And like my dress was hot pink. Alora, you were in yellow. There was somebody else in like this beautiful orange. Like the colors were so fun and it was so vibrant. And like everybody felt like themselves, looked like themselves, just like elevated wedding edition. So I'm just modeling my life after it. It is what it is. A cake smash.
Pass.
There is a theory out there that if you smash the cake in your significant other's face, that you will get divorced within 10 years is like, I think the bubble. That is like, it's like a curse that if you choose to do that, then you will get cursed. I will say I am in between on this. I think it's cute when you like feed it to each other and then give a little like smush at the end.
Yeah.
I'm a cake smudger. If you are out for blood, there is a problem. There's a problem, and I passed.
No notes. I agree.
No notes.
First looks.
Intimate or like filmed or like what are we thinking here?
Open-ended.
Pass. I mean, smash. I mean, what is it? Smash.
Smash pass. I think I'm smash if it makes the day of smoother. Like if you're taking more time to get photos like the two of you and it's not rushed and like that's the only thing you're focused on, I think I like it for that reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I like the
that
intimacy of it.
Yeah, same.
I would smash for a first look because if you are more on the shy side and you don't like a lot of attention on you, I think it's nice to have that moment to like be separate from everyone and to have that and to do like your vows. I've seen people do like first look and vows, and it's like a special moment away from everyone. And then I think people also say like, don't do a first look because like he's not going to be emotional or whatever, like when you go down the aisle, but every time it still hits just as hard. But that's my 2 cents.
I like that. I like it so much. Okay, matching bridesmaid dresses.
Pass.
Pass. I think I'm a pass. I'm a smash for efficiency, I guess. Like it takes solving it or finding it out of the question, but I'm never going to wear it again and I'm not going to cut it to make it look short and wearable.
Yeah, I also feel like it's really hard to find a dress that's like universally flattering on everybody.
Yeah.
Unless you got married when you're 19 and we all have our college bodies, right? Like,
yeah,
it is so hard to find a dress that everybody feels good in. And I like that it gives people like the variation of color and like pattern in the photos, which makes it more like visually appealing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I feel like if you're going to do, well, maybe not same dress, but same color, but different style of dress.
Yeah, I agree.
That's the only time. But
one of the weddings that I'm in this summer is that. So we all have like the same color or ordering from the same site. So it like guarantees that it's the same color. And then there's a million different cuts and styles and different things. I mean, I am on my 3rd dress that I've ordered because I didn't like the first 2. So tough. But for everybody else, it's a smooth process. Okay, final smash or pass. Kids at weddings.
No at wedding, yes at reception.
Smash if it's immediate family. Like if they're like niece, nephew. Yeah.
I think that's what I agree on too. It feels like such like I can't even give an honest take because of geographically where we're located. In no world is my
Theo not being at your wedding.
Well, in no world is my nephew not going to be there, right? But that
Yeah.
doesn't mean that I
Yeah.
love everybody else's kids. Like, can I pick and choose the kids? So people will find out if their kids are invited based off of who's
No.
listed on the invitation?
Absolutely not. Do you want to destroy every friendship you have?
No, I'm giving them
There's
a date
like a little
night.
there's like a little insert that's like, your kid is not invited. Someone else's says, we would love to see your children. No kids allowed. Your kids only.
Yeah.
Scan the
It's
QR
tough.
code to see if you have a +7.
When in Utah.
Listen, you know it's a valid take. I just had to vocalize
it's absolutely valid. It's valid.
Probably have to say smash and let some of the kids come. And maybe I'll just try and influence it behind this. I love that I'm talking as if I have a wedding that's coming up in the next 6 months. I don't.
You never know.
I feel like I do.
Romance could be right at your doorstep. I've run into a couple very old wealthy men in your elevator.
What? By old wealthy, did you mean 80?
I mean, wealthy.
Smash.
Wow. Okay. So that wraps up our hot takes. Smash
That
or
wraps
pass
up our
edition
episode.
and our episode. Clearly we can yap if needs be. Weddings, choose your own adventure. That's the moral of the story.
And no matter what you do, your wedding is going to be outdated in 10 years. So don't think too hard on it. Just enjoy. If you love something, put it in your wedding. It doesn't matter if it's on trend. It doesn't matter if everybody else thinks it's lame. If you love it, sister, you put that rose gold ring on. You get those flowers. You do
play
what you want.
Fishin' in the dark and you walk down the aisle. You do it.
Play Fishin' in the dark and you just smash that cake in your husband's face, and we'll see you on round 2. Alora, thank you so much for being on our podcast today and being our first guest. I can't think of anybody else who can handle our unhinged nature better than you.
Truly.
I love it. I love to be included. This was incredible. Thanks for having me.
Will you tell the people your Instagram and where we can find you?
Yes, you can find me at Alora Lani, ALORALANI. I had to make sure I spelled that right.
Do yourself a favor and follow, like. Also, if you'd like to give us a review, if it's 5 stars, then we'll take it. We love you all. And until next time, I'm Daylan.
I'm Chelsea.
Chat soon.